For if a man think himself to be something when he is nothing, he deceives himself. He thinks he's something, but he's nothing. And I think you have to look at that in the right manner. It's not saying that as a man you have to see yourself as nothing. And as a human, you are not self-effacing to the point that you're going, I'm just a nobody trying to tell everybody about somebody.
And I mean, I read that as just giving a example of the extremes.
Yes.
Not speaking to that you are this or you are this. It's more just giving, you know, and it's having that right and truthful assessment
Right.
of who you are. And anything that is not truthful is going to be a problem, whether it's truthful on I think I'm greater, or it's truthful on where I think I'm less.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, that's really what I think it's really speaking to. And there is a deception that happens there,
Mm-hmm.
definitely. And you know, you talk about the suicide or depression,
Yeah.
that you have deceived yourself into thinking that you don't matter, that you are not of any worth, and there's a deception. Same way, and you go to the other side where you feel you get the arrogance, and you know, you always have to. And it's funny when you touched on about the being in control, and you asked whether you know that you're in control, or even where your control comes back. And I'm going to roll back to the centurion about my authority. If I know in which my authority is rooted in, then I recognize that, especially as a boss, that my authority isn't rooted in debasing you. And sometimes we think that the more I debase or the more I push down gives me more, because I think that is my authority comes from the people beneath me. If I can take from them, not understanding that the authority is you giving, feeding, but that's all. You know, that's all in the world. We don't really think of it that way. And it's you talk with the centurion, as he said, I'm under authority, and further on he goes on to say, I do this, and they jump.
So he's under, but
He's
knows
under,
he's
but he knows that when he speaks, and it's that thing where he recognized that Jesus was under authority, but he recognized that the authority he had, even in that position, what he had to put forward.
Well, you stirred craziness in my head, so because you did, you have to answer first. Do we have this in church? Do we have this in ministry where you have people who are in leadership abusing their authority?
I would say yes. I would say that, yeah.
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 I mean,
I would,
more than,
I would say
I mean, probably the say par on par with the world.
Yeah.
Believe you me, you know, I mean, you just has to, you know, certain thing apply to your name, and then suddenly you have an entourage, and nobody can talk to you like that. You know, them have to make appointment, or whole part start up. I mean, we do it in church.
And I know in the denomination I was once a part of, it was like this whole thought process in your head as brother. You really weren't expecting a whole bunch of people to serve you. Then all of a sudden you became minister. Now, at least maybe got some brothers and sisters who are going to go, would you like a glass of water? Well, now I make elder. Well, as an elder now I'm thinking, I got a minister under me, I've got sisters, I got brothers. Don't give me the pastor slot. Now I've got an elder, I've got ministers, and I got brothers and sisters that I can say, I need you to serve me. And I think that was what Jesus was trying to get them away from.
Yeah.
The bigger your title, the more God puts on you, in you, and He elevates you. You never elevate past service.
I can remember at least three occasions where that was a conversation around the 12, who was the greatest, to where even my mother came. I think it was James and
John, right?
And I was like, hey, can you put them left and right?
Yeah.
Fill both slots.
Yeah, fill both slots on the side. And it's like, because they recognized, okay, even from there, they're looking at, even in the kingdom, it's funny. They're on earth and they're all, so the kingdom, you got God, so you got Jesus, and then, you want to be, and they're strategizing,
Yeah.
and I want them there and there. And he's keep telling them, it's flip. The least is the greatest. The more is more of who you serve than who is serving you. And he keeps painting this picture, and over they keep coming back that most of human things, again, we come back to, we go all the way back to us wanting in the initial to say to God himself, I want to rule as I want to rule. So even now when we come, I think that's just such an ingrained human thing that we do want that position. We want to be Lord God, and not even fully understanding, because we as Lord our God, we're not even ruling like how God would rule.
Right.
We have it. We have it flipped. We, this whole everything submission. This everything is under my foot, so I
Right.
can use to have it for what's best for me, as you say, in those positions where the deacons are to serve the elder, to serve the this, to serve that, and that's not how God's kingdom works.
Right.
But that's so yeah, I would think definitely.
Yeah. Can you imagine Jesus Christ, Son of God?
Mm-hmm.
And it brought this picture back in my head. We're looking for Jesus. Now, these are guys with the spears and the lanterns and all this thing. And he says 2 words, I am. And it says, bam, they fall back. Now, if a man says 2 words and it causes us to fall back or to fall down, I'm leaving. But they have the nerve to ask it twice. But you think that much power is in 2 words, I am. He could have easily risen up in his whole little God uniform and went, y'all coming for me? Fire, 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 fire.
Yeah, he said as much. He's like, don't you think I have legions ready when the sword came out?
Yeah.
He's like, and
I would go back, and I like to, I've been looking on this and see how we are affected. Glenn alluded to the disciples, the struggle where they were having in terms of who want to look like they are on the top end. And I believe that the world that we live in has kind of molded us that way to make a person feel like if I have achieved much, then I am much. If I have achieved little, then I am little. And even our male counterpart tend to be deeply affected by that, and so the ego sometimes comes out in many different ways, because in relationship, if I am not doing so great, as a man, I might become abusive to the wife who is doing very well.
Yes.
Or if I am doing super great and I feel that I should have a better wife or you know something,
Come
then I
abusive
become
the same way.
Yeah.
abuse.
There's a different
So-
kind of
Yeah.
abuse.
So
Yes.
this thing has affected